I forgot to record this. Hello. Let me introduce you though, Jamal. Jamal Hodge is somebody who's really cool, who I'm surprised likes to talk to me. He seems fake. Seems like somebody I'd watch on a podcast and think, wow, he's cool. I want to be like Jamal. I don't, it's funny, I forgot how I met you. I met you at Chashma.
We met at Shishama at the you was dressed up in
Newspaper.
bags, newspaper. Yeah. He was like all you was wearing was newspaper. And I was like, oh, let me read the news.
I
So
know. People were like,
yeah.
stand still. I'm trying to read the comics. That's fun. I mean, I don't know much about your background. Maybe you want to introduce yourself a bit.
Well, I'm black.
Anything else?
Just let it hang there. No, well, I was born in the Bronx many a summer ago.
Okay.
Actually many a spring ago. And
April or
Big
May
Francisco.
or March?
What you said?
April, May, March, which
April 22nd on Earth Day. The whole world celebrates my birthday.
fuck it.
But no. I was born in out there in the Bronx. I lived everywhere. Had a pretty rough childhood. Did some gang banging. Did a whole bunch of stuff. Survived foster care.
Wow.
Ended back up.
Wow.
All types of crazy abuse and crazy situations. Got back with my family. My mother got us all back together and started a journey of healing and self-actualization. Actually, before I did that though, I did what a lot of people do, which is you either try to act like you don't need anybody,
Right.
you just shut down when you go through a lot of trauma. It's
I did
like
that. I did
one
that.
of the two. So
Yeah.
I tried to act like I didn't need anybody, and I tried to make myself as strong as possible, but everything was in the material realm.
Right.
So it was a foundation, a strong foundation built
Right.
on sand. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah, I
So
have
when the
that same
tide came
feeling.
in,
Yeah. I mean, a totally different background, of course, but I also really relate to that idea of just I didn't even know I had a hard childhood in certain ways. I was so like optimistic. I twisted everything into a lesson that made me stronger and better than everything and resilient and undefeatable. In many ways, it's true. Like I'm a survivor, if you will, but like,
but life is there's more to life than being a damn survivor or being proud of being
yeah, but
victimized.
if you've never seen it really shown to you that it's not that way in your personal life, you just this inherent
Of
distrust
course.
of the world.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
mean, I
God.
definitely share that inherent distrust of anything, but at the same time, doubt is a powerful tool when it's not the only thing that exists inside you. It's good to have a certain level of doubt because it creates belief, right? Belief and doubt are like
Two sides
opposite
of
ends
a
of the same
coin. Yeah.
coin. Yeah, you know. So it's kind of like to be able to believe, you have to have doubt in order to build the belief. So it's not bad to doubt. You should question everything and everyone.
Well, belief
Um,
is like evidence-based self-identity or something, I think, or
mhm. I know what you're saying.
self-knowledge.
I mean, because knowing things is different than believing them. Because if you know something, you don't have to believe it because you already know it. Like I know I'm talking to you right now, so there's
Mhm.
nothing to believe. Whatever you believe in, you have to have a certain level of doubt in order to believe and to have to believe in it. Because if you know it, you don't have to believe in it. You just know it.
That's why people love weed, I think. I don't like weed, so I lived in Bed-Stuy like 8 years, and everybody always asked
Yeah.
me if I was high. I was like, "Are you kidding? I'm just happy in
You
my
sound you sound like you're perpetually high, though.
yeah, I'm high on life, bitch. I'm having a good
There you
time.
go.
I'm
There you go.
living like the Barbie movie. Like I have a life like that.
You're talking to me like I would watch something like that.
It's good, dude. It's the funniest movie I've seen in theaters in forever. Funny.
Right.
It's really, really funny. The first Ken makes it, Ryan Gosling's character, because it's like in Barbie's world, he's just her prop basically, and he's like
Mhm.
like objectified. And then she has an existential break, goes to the human world, and then she experiences like misogyny and like sexual predation, and he rocks. he like goes to the library, he finds books on like the patriarchy. He's like, this is awesome. Patriarchy is where men and horses rule the world. And he's like, he's so charming in it. It's a really funny character for Ryan.
I care about this not at all.
The first half is funny.
Yeah, I'm too old to care of these things to care about these things.
It's a good production.
I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great. I'm
Listen,
sure it's fantastic.
I was once asleep myself. I woke up. It's up to you.
Yeah, it's hard to sleep when you're this black, but I understand what you're saying.
That's funny.
You know, it's just in life. In life, caring is like a battery.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you only can care about so many things and put in so many directions at the same time. You can't fight every battle. You can hope and pray for the best of people who are fighting the battles that you wish you could fight. But if you try to fight every battle, you end up losing in your own life.
That's true. I mean, I am
that's
Aries. I am an Aries, Sun and Venus, motherfucker. It's like a god of war, but also love. And so I've had to learn how to like tone down my warlike tendencies.
And it's Ishtar, I believe, in India. She's the god of war and love.
Yeah. Well, I identify with Aphrodite personally. I love her.
She loves war, but she's not the goddess of war.
No, exactly.
But you know, that goddess is war and
Love.
Which makes sense because they're about the same thing.
Exactly. When to go to war, when to stop fighting, when to pick up a gun, when to put it down.
I think we never stop fighting. Right. To live is the struggle. There's no way to stop fighting. We just fight in different ways, and there's different intensities of fighting. But even in our bodies, World War III is happening like every day, like in our cells on a cellular level and stuff. There's no life without conflict. Out of conflict comes order. So underneath any form of order, you'll find chaos of some type, some sort of meshing or clashing of forces.
I mean, my biggest inspiration is chaos, actually, because I feel like I grew up in chaos and made order independently. So I'm like very much stimulated by chaos. Do you feel similar about chaos?
No.
Oh.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Bitches be
I'm more chaotic. I like structure and order.
Me too. Me too.
But I don't. I'm not trying to eradicate chaos because chaos is where all beauty and possibility comes out of. You need both. Like chaotic things have to be chaotic.
I know, it's like masculine and feminine or yin and yang or something, right?
Exactly.
That theory is very interesting. I mean, I studied both power, seduction, masculinity, femininity, like for years. Because I was just trying to figure out why my life was stinking, or like why the world was stupid, or like what's wrong with everyone.
Nothing's wrong with anyone, and the world is not stupid. We're stupid. Because the way we interact with the world is how the world is. The world just is. It's our interaction with the world that makes it whatever it is. And it's kind of like, you know, the world is because everything in the world is happening simultaneously. Like right now, in every moment, right? So right now, somebody's being born, somebody's dying, somebody's fighting, somebody's loving. There's rapes happening, there's love making happening, there's killing happening, everything is happening simultaneously. So it just matters where you choose to put the lens.
Wow.
And then where you choose to put the lens, that's how the world occurs to you. And then how you interpret the information is how it occurs to you. So, you know,
life is creative production and editing, right?
Yes. It's all about choice. In my opinion, it's all about choice. It's the perspective that you choose that defines how life occurs to you. The world is just the world. I mean, you know, we live in the same world as ants, and their life is like complete. They don't even sleep. Like they just work 24/7, and that's why they think. You know, sometimes I walk around because I'm crazy and I'm overthinking. I'm always thinking like, how do birds see us? How do ants see us? Like, you know, we only think of our experience as humans in this one society, because there's humans living all types of lives in other societies too. So it's kind of like the world is so complex and so much bigger than us that I feel like we kind of like we have to shrink everything down to our own experience to make sense of the world, and then we feel like we understand the world. But nobody lives long enough to understand shit ultimately.
Yeah.
So it's just so the accepting that, hey, I'm learning as much as I can, but I'm also riding the wave of the dead who told me this is this, and because it's like dead people are defining our lives, right? It's like the dead rule us, the dead rule the living, because they told us this is America, this is your language, all these things that we have that we think it's us came from dead people.
That's
So it's just kind of like it's weird when you think about it,
that's interesting. I've never
um
thought about it like that. But I mean, I always think of it and it's like epigenetics. I'm like, well, all those genes were activated in such a way that made me resilient for a couple generations. Like my grandparents are refugees. Every single
mhm.
person in my family is a business owner. Like no one's an
Yeah.
employee. And everybody has poverty trauma that they haven't grown out of, even though they're not broke anymore. I had to work on that with myself. Like, why am I running around like I'm a broke single mom? I'm like if a single mom was a divorced dad, I'd be melting cheese onto Doritos and making a boutique mac and cheese on my stovetop. Like, why am I doing the most all the time? Well, I like to, but there's like a limit to how much a person can do. You know what I'm saying? And
Well,
like
and then it's
when I
also the
learned that men
environment.
like to help, when I learned that men like to help women, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm never putting a bed frame together again alone. I've done it twice. I have one
Men
sitting there now.
men have no equivalent for what women have in men. You're a man, it's just like if shit goes down, it's up to you to figure it out or you die.
I
That's
know.
pretty much that's what the stakes are. Or you gotta like look
Hi.
to dude to help. But most of the
Yeah,
time,
I mean,
you know,
I dated a guy who had a really interesting joke like, yo, so if we love you and marry you, we gotta die for you, right? Like we have to fucking die. Like we have to take a bullet. And then what do? We have sex with us? Like, he was like pretty intense about it.
yeah, but
It
he's
hit
missing
with
the point.
everybody,
It is an equal exchange because women carry babies, and if
right? To
not
give
for the
life.
technology that exists today, a lot of
Hmm.
women would be dead
Right.
giving birth.
Right.
So it's kind of like women
I
have their own
know.
battles to fight.
Right.
So
Thank
it's kind
you.
of like this. Just
Of respect.
it's an equal exchange. That's why
I
there's
think
people
so
like, oh,
too.
who's superior dominant? It's not nobody's superior dominant.
Nah.
It's fluid. And what happens is that we,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't want to go too much into it because you can't say nothing these days about
Oh
this.
no, I don't care what you think. I mean, you can say what you want. I don't care if you agree with me or disagree with me. I
Yeah,
think you and I
me
have probably a lot of
either.
similar views, but
Yeah, yeah. I
I
just
don't
feel
think
like I
the
just feel
gender
like
war is
in different
stupid.
arenas, women are superior, and in certain arenas, men are superior.
Yeah,
And
and it's
when
okay.
you bring us together, you have a balanced world, and
Hmm.
that's how things work, and they've always
That's
worked.
how it is. It'd be that way.
I mean,
That's
we
how
could
it is.
experiment. The thing that I would say is that you can experiment with things, but you
Hmm.
have to judge a thing from its result.
Hmm.
So you know what the result of all these other things that are
Hmm.
toxic, that we call toxic now, because those are the things that
Hmm.
build our society.
I
So
know. I
you don't
know. I
really
mean, there's a
know
reason. I keep
these
telling people, I'm
other
like,
these other more noble pursuits. We really don't know what
yeah.
they're going to produce yet.
I mean, it
So
reminds me of something I was talking to you about like polyamory and like
yeah,
everybody in Brooklyn who's like my generation went to the schools I went to are artists. They're like thinking they're inventing it. I'm like, you realize that they invented the contract of marriage for a reason because this shit was incredibly complex
exactly.
and you need to have fucking skin in the game, dude. I mean, with my boyfriend, I was like, listen, I care about you a lot. Look, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, we're having sex, and you're staying here and you just stopped paying for your own hotel. You have to leave this weekend or propose to me because I'm not living with a man I'm not engaged to. That's that. No.
But everybody got to have a standard.
Yeah, that's mine. We can be boyfriend, girlfriend, and you can live somewhere else. You can move me into a house that you buy, or, you know, if you want to
Mhm.
do this modern thing, you need to fucking make it right now?
Yeah, but you also got to understand the institution of marriage is like a death trap to a man.
I know. So you better be
So
willing to
so
get in
so
there.
so so it's kind of like it's kind of like buy
Hmm.
you can't get mad if I have a store
Hmm.
and people come to the store
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want to buy anything in the store owner
Mm-hmm.
can't shit, curse out the customers. You got to make a
Right.
better store so that the
Right.
customer to stay or keep coming back to the store.
Right.
That's all.
No, no, I
That's all.
get that.
You
I
know what I
get
mean?
that. I mean, yeah, that's what I was saying though. I was like, listen, bro, this is like an Airbnb brothel restaurant, entertainment. Like
But
I
you
don't
got,
know.
but you got to also know who's the customer that you are inviting into the store that you're appealing
Right.
to. Is your
Right.
store just open to all customers,
Oof.
or is it exclusive?
Mm-hmm.
Is it for a certain type of person? Are you
Mm-hmm.
selling like stuff for bikers? Are you selling
Mm-hmm.
stuff for corporate people? Are you selling like who is your store built for?
I
You
know.
gotta think about that too.
I know.
You
You have
know,
to figure out who you are to know the answers to those questions though, because society will
exactly.
tell you everything else. Yeah, for me it was like I don't know what to say. Oh, it's funny, that part of my life, it's like I'm really not emotionally attached to sex, but I have huge intimacy issues and I'm like very sensitive. So it's just taken a long time to find someone compatibility is hard, you know.
Yeah,
Especially when you're really independent and creative and also intimidating to most people, like, you know.
I have the same issue with a lot of people because I'm too I don't know what the word is. They think that I don't care about them because I give them the freedom of choice, and then I make my own decisions accordingly. Um, to
Yeah.
me, to me, um, if you know who a person is, and sometimes people don't, they're learning you. That's different. But once you know who people are, you should know at that point what they're against, what they're
Yeah.
not against. If you don't have, because for me, for women, I find that they more care about love and men care more about respect
Mhm. Mhm.
in
Yeah.
relationships. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, if I don't feel respected, I'm out. I don't care
Me
about.
too though. It's so funny though, but the ways of respecting men and women are different, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Like I have always almost had like a male ego about respect. I fucking like that Aretha Franklin song, like motherfucker, respect me or leave. Like I have a huge like bar for. I think respect is like the ultimate form of love. But in this society where women are like pedestaled for out earning men or earning as much as they do or doing all their same jobs, I'm like, bitch, like the Ali Wong special put it right. It was like, listen, we had the best gig in the world. We just got to hang out at the house and use our own bathroom. We didn't have to go to work and use a fucking
Well,
company bathroom.
I think the biggest lie that women were sold by this society is that it's not. I'm I guess I'm a feminist because I agree that women should have equal rights with
Equal
men on
rights.
every level
Yeah.
and equal opportunity, not
Yes.
equal results. I think nobody should have equal results.
Sure. Of
You should
course.
earn your results, like no matter what you are, black, white, green, blue,
Mm-hmm.
male, female, gay, straight, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like telling people that the things that taking care of children, the most important job in the world,
I
in
know.
my opinion, for the
Yes.
human race,
I agree.
is more important than anything. Is
No,
even
I
more
know. I know.
building the
I
electrical grid is more
I can't
important.
agree more.
So it's literally the
No,
most important job a human can do, male
in
or female.
society. No, I know.
Yeah,
Listen,
but
I know.
telling
I
people
mean,
that that's somehow corny or a shit job or setting people back,
embarrassing
you
or
have to work
stupid
like
or
these people and be
mm,
a slave basically, and
that's what I'm saying.
it doesn't make
It
sense
doesn't make
unless
sense.
that's what you want for yourself, which is fine. So
Right. Which is
the
fine.
option needs to exist. Um,
Right. I
and,
know.
but I don't think you should be. It, the thing that gets me mad is how some of these like feminist extremists, I'm just gonna
Mm-hmm.
talk plainly,
Sure.
they kind of shit on anything traditionally feminine,
Mm-hmm. I know.
while still saying that they're feminists, but then
I
that
know.
aspect of
They
femininity,
hate women. They
they're
hate
shitting
women.
on them.
They
And so
hate
it's weird.
themselves and they hate men. It's full
Yeah,
of
it's
hate.
weird. I don't understand
No,
that
it's a
part.
horrible version of feminism. It's insane. It's horrible. Yes, it's true. Some of the first computer scientists were women, but also men love to figure out how things work.
Well,
Whatever. Each
I
gender
mean,
has the thing they bring.
the first teachers are women.
I
The
know.
first
Women
teacher
were
in any
bearers of
kid's life.
culture and language.
And even if you say like okay, these women hate men or whatever the case may be,
Mhm.
but they don't hate their sons when they have them.
Right,
You know
that's what I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying? So it's kind of like, who's raising all these men that you're saying are so wicked? That's like,
Right.
women are raising these men.
No, but then it
You know what I'm
becomes this
saying?
horribly sordid like sexual perversion among men where all they want is a mommy figure and they don't know how to be a dad or something.
Well, that's an aspect of it, because being a man, in most nations, they will have a rites of passage for men. We don't have a rites of passage for men.
What's that mean? Oh yeah, ritual
You know what I
or
mean? But that's like really critical to for a
interesting.
man to take on his responsibility in society. But
That's
now
interesting.
there's no rites of passage for dudes. Dudes, you age up to a certain age and they just say, hey, you're a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no earning
You don't
of
have to go to
us,
war.
because there's no status involved in it. And there's no status around being a husband anymore either, or even being a father in
Well,
this
it depends on the
society.
men you listen to. I mean, I started listening to men who were married talk about the benefits of marriage in order to be like, I need to just listen to these people say this because I know they're out there. I'm just not running into them. And like, I asked my boyfriend in the first week I met him, I was like, yo, what did I do wrong the last 5 years? Could you tell me what the fuck I've been doing to get fucked over so many times? And he was like, nothing. Like, you're just around the wrong kinds of people.
I don't think that's true.
Well, yes and no. I was attracted to men
I think that's
who were not good for me.
partially true, but to think like that robs you of
Not
accountability,
totally, of
robs you of
course.
choice. Like
Well, to
people
be
always say,
honest, yeah.
like they didn't know. Like it's like we put our desires, what we want, ahead of our common sense a lot.
Hmm.
And then when it comes back to bite us, we act like we're just helpless victims. But
No, I
at
know.
the time, we wanted to be alone. We wanted sex. We wanted companionship. We wanted
Right,
money. We wanted something. And we said, you
right.
know what? I know this person's kind of fucked up, or I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want this thing right now.
Love is
And
a hell of a drug, though. I swear to God, when you have sex, at least for me, love and sex are like the same. Like, I never have sex with someone I'm not able to love or willing to love. And like, I
Mhm.
realized it's not like that for men. And I attracted all these men with like mommy issues and like almost mommy fetishes. It's pretty crazy. Like, sometimes people will comment mommy on my Instagram post. I'm not even kidding.
Mommy fetish.
I attracted all these like artists in the city who had mommy issues,
Oh yeah.
basically.
Well, all artists. I think all artists men has mommy issues. Like all artists women have daddy issues. I think it's
Interesting.
a part. I think it's a part of it.
I got both.
Yeah, I think it's a part of it. I think
Hmm.
everybody has issues with their parents. Period. You know,
I know.
that's
I
just
remember
like,
asking one of my guys I was dating, one of the ones I was on and off with for like 5 years, like, tell me about your mom. He was like, she's perfect. I was like, oh no. Oh God. She's perfect. Like, it was like, she's perfect. I was like, wow.
yeah,
That's weird. It's
very.
the worst one is when mom's perfect. That's worse than she's evil, is she's perfect. Because that's insane. It's insane. No one's perfect. I'm like, I know how your mother fucked you up right now. That story you told me where you should be paranoid about everyone because they're all out to get you, your mother telling you that
Mhm,
your whole life repeatedly. That'll fuck you up, dude. You're anxious because of that.
mhm, mhm.
I had an interesting mom who had like a
A lot of
victim
times it's like
narcissism thing.
a lot of sons trauma bond with their moms.
I know. And the mothers use the son as a surrogate husband.
Yep.
True. It's true. It's disgusting. It's sad. They don't encourage their sons to grow up. They never want to let them go.
Nope.
Isn't that sad?
It's life. It's just life. People
Toxic.
are people are afraid to be alone. I actually think that right now the epidemic is we live in the age of loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst epidemic there is, not COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Just people are
Mm-hmm.
in the West. Everybody's
Mm-hmm.
lonely. Everybody's trying to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to act like they know and they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I got a lot of
Mm-hmm.
information in my brain, but I know what I don't
No.
know. I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Like honestly, I mean, if I didn't know, I'd be able to help people more. But I only could do
Yeah.
what I can do.
Wait, did
But
you get into production or writing first? Referring to your career.
when I was always a writer, I've been writing since I was a kid, and then I got into film when I was about 15.
You know
Uh,
what's funny is they say that when you're a kid, you know what you want to do, and like anybody who ends up doing what they want to do, it typically is that when they were a kid, they wanted to do it. And I was
mm,
thinking back, I was like, yo, when I was 7, I really wanted to be an actor. Like I really wanted to be an actor. And then I just completely like forgot about that. I got inspired by The Apprentice. I loved Omarosa and Donald Trump. I thought they were really cool. I wanted to move to the city and be a businesswoman.
funny.
Isn't that funny as hell? I traced the roots of my feminism to
The
Donald Trump's The
Omarosa,
Apprentice and Omarosa.
that is hilarious.
She's good. She was a baller in that show. She really was. Do you
She
remember how
was,
she
she
was?
was, she was something.
I liked it. It was powerful energy.
Yeah, yeah. Powerful don't always mean good
As
energy
a
though.
7 year old, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
7. Uh, but I don't know. I just it's funny though, because then I thought I wanted to be a lawyer or a diplomat, like human rights law or international diplomacy, like whatever George Clooney's wife does them all. I don't know. But then I always thought Angelina Jolie was like a good style icon. Like I always thought she was very attractive and stuff. So I kind
yeah.
of like
You and
focused on her
everybody in the world.
style. Well,
You
she's
and
beautiful. She's
except
elegant.
for her
You know what I
dad.
mean?
Her dad was